Hi there, my name is Jordan Tash, a course developer over at Code4Kids, and today I'm super excited to show you lesson 2 of our drone course, in which we've collaborated with world-renowned drone experts, Aerobotics, to bring you and your students a whole bunch of content all about drones. So on the first tab, building a drone in the top left corner, let's get straight into it. You'll see at the top of the tab, there are 10 different sections. I'm not going to go through the first and the second section as these are recaps of lesson 1. And there's a couple of questions where your students should know the answer already. Remember, whenever you see a teacher prompt, this little icon over here, that means that the question can be discussed as a class. And we really encourage that collaborative sort of discussion-based question asking with your students. So let's go down to section 3, which is where the new content starts for the lesson. And that is building a drone. As I mentioned earlier, it's got everything to do with what makes up a drone in terms of the components, okay? So the first teacher prompt there, name as many components of a drone that you can think of. Ask your students. They'll say all sorts of things like blades or rotors or cameras or frames or whatever, or bodies of the drone. But we have a video, another video that we've made, and we have the aerobotics engineers discussing exactly what makes up a drone. So you guys can all watch that. If in the case that you cannot watch the video, that's okay. We're going to be answering a bunch of questions based on the video, but we've added a bunch of scripts underneath each image, just in case you can't watch it, so you can just read the dialogue instead. So the first one, the lighter the better, section 4. You'll see a button that now says expand text. You can click that to see the dialogue part of it that will give you the answer. So why should a drone have a light frame? The answer is to use less battery. That's in the video. Next section, what is the drone's frame in the video made of? The answer in this video particularly is carbon fiber. Again, click expand text if you haven't seen the video. Next, we have motors. Why is a brushless motor used? The answer here is to reduce the noise a drone makes. Then we have lithium polymer batteries, section 7. What are the benefits using a LiPo battery over a normal AA TV remote battery? Answer here, just look carefully. LiPo can hold more energy and still be lightweight. Again, we can see it right there in the dialogue. Software, this is just a fun question we've added. Is a control board a type of computer? Technically yes, because it has all the software on it, so true. Camera stability, what is the function of the gimbal? In the video, Nick goes into quite a lot of detail about how the gimbal moves the camera around, keeps it stable, rotates it, all those sorts of things. So it actually holds the camera in place, points the camera, and it stabilizes the footage all in one. So the answer there is very carefully A, B, and C. Make sure your students read carefully. Next we have section 10, aerobotics and cameras, the last section. What do aerobotics use cameras for? The answer we've already sort of answered in the recap, but it's image recognition of crops. Okay. Then we can go on to the second tab, drone rotors. And now we get on to some more coding and more of the Blockly stuff that we saw in lesson 1. So components of the drone, that's literally exactly the same. Another discussion question. Now they've seen the video, what are the components of a drone? Okay. And now we're going to introduce a new mechanic, and that's called tilting your drone. Okay, so obviously if you disable like the back left rotor, the drone will tilt front right and so forth. Okay, so we've created a bit of some drone physics to just emulate how a drone would move in a 3D world, depending on which rotors you've enabled or disabled. So what we want you to do for section 2, if you read the instructions, all it is we want them to tilt the drone in any direction. And to do that, there's this block called enable, rotor A. Remember to drag, click, drop, and connect it to the block. Then we can go disable, and let's just disable rotor A. And there we go. You can see that this rotor has stopped. These rotors are still spinning. And we can rotate, have a look at it. You can see it's tilting that way. Okay. Now we want to tilt our drone again, but in a different direction than the first one. So let's do that again. So the last time I disabled rotor A, let's disable like rotor C. Okay, there we go. Tilting in the front right direction, if you're looking at it from here, front left if you're looking at it from there, or back left, sorry, rather. And now we want to tilt left and right. Okay, so now we want your students to sort of understand a little bit more about how tilting sort of works. And you'll know now if we tilt both, if you're looking at from the front side, if we tilt both the back left and the front left rotors, it should tilt that way, right, to the left. So let's try that. Let's just disable one of them. Okay, well, we're going to go for that side instead. And let's disable that back one, which I think is rotor D. No, not rotor D. Yeah, just trial and error this until you get it, essentially. Let's disable rotor C. There we go. Okay, so that's D and C. And now you can see it's tilting to the left, which is what we want. Okay, so we got one tilting in one way, got one tilting in another way, and we got one tilting to the left. Your students can also just, if they want, they can change the colors of their drone as well while they do this. Okay, next we have a fun section, my country's drones. Okay, design a drone using the colors of your country's flag. So I'm just going to use South Africa as an example. So colors such as yellow. Let's just make a bunch of blocks here, 3 blocks for now. Let's go blue. No, let's go yellow, and let's go black, and let's go some other one. Let's go white. Okay. I know there's a lot more colors to the African flag, but let's go yellow for the camera lens and black for the frame, yeah, and white for one of the rotors. And there we go. Got a bit of a custom drone over there, and they can have as much fun as they want with their country's flag. Then we can go down to section 6, your own drone. This is just an ending off question. They can design any drone they want, and then they can just show you, the teacher, what they've made. Now we're jumping back into the open world, the main app of the drone course. And you'll see in the top left corner, as I've said in the previous lesson, here are your objectives. Now there's a little arrow there, so there are 2 objectives for this first tab. The first one is land on the goal tile. Get there by flying over the orchards. So you'll notice that the drone has actually landed, and we've put a block there already, so they don't actually have to add another block. But the second one says complete the objective using at most 4 blocks. So you'll see that there are 2 blocks currently in our workspace over here on the left. And you'll see that on the right hand side, there's a bunch of these little indicators here. All these ticks, which means we're within the limit of each one. And you'll see there's a 2 out of 4. And what that means is there's 2 blocks on the left hand side. Okay. And we need to stay under 4, and get to the goal tile. Okay. So what you actually need to do is, in the most efficient way, this is to show you the most efficient way of doing this, is you actually need to take off, then you need to move the drone forwards, and then you need to land. Is it land? Yeah, land on the goal tile. So let's see what that does. So we've got our 4 blocks there. We're going to take off first, we're going to move the drone forward, and then we're going to land. Let's see what that does. Okay. So it hasn't moved enough. Let's reset. Okay. Let's try, I think it was 4 tiles forward. And let's land afterwards. That should go there. That should go there. That should go there. Okay. See if this does. Okay, and now I'm still 1 short. And this is good because I haven't seen this either. Let's reset again. And let's go take off, move 5. And let's land. And your students must do this sort of trial and error until they get it correct. And they've done it. And they've done it in 4 blocks as well. Okay. So let's now go on to long distance at the top. Now long distance is quite similar, but you'll notice immediately that we don't have a takeoff block. So we need to add that first. Okay. And we also need to land on the goal tile. That's fine. You can see we have 2 blocks in our workspace. 2 out of 6 is being used there. And that's where the second objective is. Okay. Make sure they check these objectives just so they know what's going on in the tab. Complete the objective using at most 6 blocks. Okay, not 4 like before, 6 now, which means that we actually need quite a few blocks. So we can't even see the goal tile. So let's just try moving a bunch forward first. Let me just add 2 like that and move forward 10 blocks. Take off first, and let's run. You can see we've moved 10. Okay, that looks like we're about 3 blocks away, 3 hexagons away. Okay, which means we need to just reset, and we'll need to take off. We'll need to move 10 again. Let's move 10, and then about 3, we would say. And then once we've done 3, we can then land. And let's try this. Okay, 5, 5, 3, and land. And there we go. And that's long distance. Not too bad. They just have to try it a bunch of times, some trial and error, and they'll get it eventually. For the last tab, we have tilting in motion. Okay. Now, this is quite a simple tab. This is just to show them a new mechanic, and that is spinning the drone, okay? So in the previous lessons and the previous tabs, we've been just moving forward and landing and taking off. Now we're starting with the drone flying already, and we can see the goal tile over there, but we need to turn our drone. You can see in a hexagonal world, everything works in 60 degrees, okay? So we need to turn 60 degrees every single time we want to go to a different hexagon block that isn't in front or behind us. Okay, so let's take our flag block, okay? Let's move forward 1 to get to that hexagon. Turn left by 60 degrees, move forward twice, turn right by 60 degrees, move once. Okay, so let's just do that again slowly. Move forward 1 meter, 1 hexagon. Okay, spin drone left 60 degrees, move, so we're going to be here, 1, 2, turn right at an angle of 60, and then move once. And that should be it. First time's the charm. Let's have a look. Spins, moves there, spins, and moves. And perfect. And there we have it. And that's it for drone lesson 2. We really hope you enjoyed. And again, don't let your students be discouraged if they can't get it right and they'll keep clicking reset. The whole point is to get them used to how the drone flies around the map. Thanks, and I'll see you next lesson.